Yeah, so what do we think about all this? Obviously that stuff works, right? Isn't it funny how they're making fun of this whole thing? Like, oh, people are losing their jobs. You really think that that's going to be, easy to do? Why? Oh, you're all on digital. Don't worry. You're going to get fired. You're not even going to see your boss. How does that make you feel, AJ? Knowing that, do you really think that on your Slack and everything else, when they're stacking you and they're rating you, you really think you're going to get a fair trial?
No.
Oh, why not? How did you guys feel about seeing the lineman? The lineman is the one that gets me. That guy didn't do anything wrong to anybody. He did his job. He busted his hump. They don't mind screwing him over. Don't worry. They made it. They feel bad. Andrew, how is it? Is it okay that he feels bad, Kinley?
I mean, if he really does, then at least he still has some of his soul, but that doesn't help the lineman.
Yeah, but he has like $30 million. The lineman doesn't. Yeah. Kinley died while he was being sentenced, so therefore his sentence got commuted. He had a heart attack, so therefore, in the eyes of justice, he wasn't actually convicted. Jeffrey Skilling got out in 2018 and 2021, tried to start his own energy business with his wife from Enron, who had been some kind of secretary fronting the business or whatever. And Andy Fastow got out after only a few years and now gets paid to talk about ethics to college students. How do we feel that is now that you know everything about Andy Fastow and all the weird stuff that he did? How do you feel if your university paid him $25,000 to speak for an hour to you?
It doesn't really make sense because he just contradicts himself.
And don't you feel that that's your money? So really he's stealing your money to talk to you about something that he should be really sorry about. And he says he's sorry, I'm sure. I'm sure that's part of his thing. How do you feel, Uriel? Do you feel that that's acceptable? So when sometimes we don't really do that here, but they go to the speaking circuit. They're taking your money and they're basically telling you what they did with it, right? Isn't that a little weird, Xander? So how do you feel about learning that technology is starting to use rank and yank?
Not great.
Why not? I thought you wanted to kill the music department. Who cares?
I mean, this is a lot bigger scale.
Yeah? You did? Wait, everyone just thought it was going to be on a small scale? We weren't really going to do stuff? Connor, you only felt that we were studying on the small scale and not the big one? A little bit different when you know the people, isn't it? So you never meet Mina, but all you know is the fact that she does a certain amount of business. You don't care either way, right? You may or may not have that much of an exchange, but you know Tyler. How quickly are you killing Mina in the software company? Right? I mean, be honest. Is that really fair, Tyler? Is that really how things work?
In some cases, yeah.
In some cases, or do we believe all that you're really going to protect the people you like as opposed to the people you don't know?
Yeah.
You guys didn't know most of the people. So let me ask you, do you think that, Madison, that your Italian-American mafia would have done all the things Enron would have done to themselves or their customers?
Probably not.
Why not?
Because it's more about loyalty rather than exploitation for money, per se. And they're not trying to use their customers to the point where their customers won't want to come back. They want the loyalty base, so they'll always come back, so they have to treat them like it's a human being.
And they wouldn't just throw Andy Fastow, who's one of their lieutenants, right? They wouldn't allow that to happen, would they? They'd be upset if he turned state evidence, right? But they also would remain loyal to him as long as he didn't. Seems like basically Andy Fastow did everything his boss wanted, Uriel. Do you really feel that Andy Fastow deserved all of the, accusations? Why not?
Because it wasn't like really on him.
Wasn't really on him. Amy, do we really feel that Jeffrey Skilling, who said, "Oh, I feel really bad for them," they had people talking up, buy the stock while he's unloading it. You really feel he was a good leader?
Yeah.
Why not? Why wasn't he a great leader? He had the great idea, the big idea. Let's wrap horse shit and rat poison and dog shit and people will buy it. Why? He had the great idea.
Having a great idea doesn't mean great execution.
Yeah, he loved the book The Selfish Gene. Richard Dawkins, who wrote that book, actually talks about it, and he goes, "Whoa, that is not what I'm saying. I'm saying well, you have to avoid this shit, right?" AJ, do we think somebody maybe took the book, or at least the author, and maybe they took them the wrong way? They took a wide turn right when everyone was going left like the Smashing Pumpkins back in the early '90s.
Yeah.
You don't even know that reference.
Wow, I was asking. But
Yeah.
I think it was more just like it was being said, and they just spinned it that way rather than like actually understanding what was being said. They kind of just like read it and like, oh.
This
can
means
turn
I
it this
can be
way.
selfish?
Yeah.
Austin, did you get that Smashing Pumpkins reference?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Come on, Billy Corgan died for our soul, or at least he thought he was Jesus in some of his songs. Yeah.
And they took a hard turn with
Yes.
that last album.
Yes, well, there you go. He actually compares himself to Jesus in one of his songs. Despite all my rage, I'm still just a rat in the cage. You can read the lyrics. Andy, what do we think? What do we think about all of this? You had to watch all this, endure all this. I'm sorry, because this obviously had no precursor to anything we did, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. Yeah, it just kind of makes you think about how little it takes until just little steps, and then all of a sudden, like if you just take that big leap, you're like, no way, I'm not doing that. But if you just take it in little steps, like, oh, we'll just do this, kind of cover up that little pinhole right there, and then eventually it just becomes this giant crater that you're trying to cover up, and everything falls through.
Dang, what did we think about all this? How does this make you a better person seeing all of this? I would hope you wouldn't do all this at Chipotle. If you're put in a manager position, are you going to rank and yank? Start just cutting people left and right? Why? But do we see the warning signs? So what did we learn out of this entire class, Xander? I assume that we learned something. And by the way, everyone gets to answer this question, so we're going to go down the row. Xander, what did you think? What did we learn in this class? Did we learn anything, or was I an ineffective teacher that should never be doing this again?
Definitely the second part.
Oh, okay. Good.
We learned that like there's.
You just fell out of the trust tree, bud. No, but yeah. Once you started talking about time, go for it.
No, we learned that there is a lot of bad that happens in the business world, and this class was kind of teaching us how to recognize it and giving us the tools to try to help fix it or help ourselves in that situation.
So, Connor, right now, if this were a movie, suddenly where you have a sweeping camera that moves off, that suddenly has like lights, and then there's the credits and everything, because we've just all become better people. What did we learn?
Well, to recognize that whether a business is legal or illegal, technically, that they still do illegal or wrong things everywhere.
Immoral. Andrew, what did we learn through all of this? Was this just a waste of your 14 weeks of your time?
No.
No.
Yeah, I think probably the biggest thing that I'll probably remember is that almost like criminal organizations are almost like better businesses than some of the corporations that we have, because they are at least even just for the sole purpose of like staying in business, they care about their customer rather than just making money.
AJ, what did we learn from all of this?
I think this is the biggest standout to me was basically kind of what everyone's saying, how similar like crime syndicates or like business like Enron, how bad they were, still very similar to like companies today that people like praise for in a sense, and just kind of, but they're just not seeing it because like they don't know. They just say, oh, they're successful, they make money. That means they're a good company or something like that. But their morals and ethics are very similar to like crime syndicates or Enron.
So, Connor, when you're in your workplace, wherever that is, some cubicle hellhole, or some, you're looking at your webcam as you're doing your work, what did this class do for you? And what are the tools that it gave you in order to recognize how not to be this way?
From working in like the video said, if you're going to your boss and you see something, you're going to step on his throat or something like that. One of the guys said that. I think that's pretty it's pretty like eye opening to say to a coworker at the time, but at the same time, it's like it's a dog eat dog world. Like you gotta survive.
But you see you see why the Mexican mafia, maybe it's a little bit more loyal.
Definitely more loyal than Enron for sure. Like the Mexican mafia would take care of their own. They would, even if they even went to prison, I think it's stronger in prison than out.
And they also don't bother people that didn't do anything to them.
Yeah.
They don't aggressive. By the way, you notice that with all your gangs, none of them aggressively just try to attack some commoner who didn't do anything. They might go, hey, you're in my way. But if you get out of their way, it's not like they're spraying bullets just for no reason, right? Tyler, what did we learn from this?
I think just that, like in the past, there have been many different approaches to like how people try to run their businesses, and obviously, like some work a lot better than others, and like kind of like the Welsh model. Like, people think it's good to like cut out people, but like, you don't realize that they're just taking their jobs away, and they might be like that might be all they have. And, like they could be doing their job, but people just see it as like, oh yeah, like, they're not needed.
They're expendable. So you think that a Yakuza boss would be the same as Jeff Skilling?
Yeah.
Why not? Why? Hold on. They're great CEOs. They have great ideas, right?
Yeah.
Great ideas.
I mean, I guess from that too, like I realized that like covering something up only lasts so long that you can't have it forever. So like, it pays off to be honest, I guess.
Would you like to talk more about Major League Baseball? Oh wait,
Austin?
what did we learn from all of this?
So I believe that I will continue to ask why and how. That's
By the way, great ad. By the way,
Yeah.
Ask why.
But it's always ask yourself how a business is run, or like I learned a lot from crypto. Like once I saw Matt Damon, I sold everything I had because I was like, if everybody's doing it, nobody can do it. But if they will, if there's an opportunity to scam somebody will take the opportunity. I'm a fan of Wu-Tang Clan, so you have to protect your neck.
Even though they sold their one and only album to the guy that was, who basically defrauded people and raised the price of all your pills.
Yeah. The core message, but again, nobody's perfect. And
I think that was one of the songs on there, wasn't it?
Sorry?
I think that's one of the songs, Nobody's Perfect.
Yeah.
We sold this album anyway.
Yeah. It's again, the guy's in prison, so Shalaki.
Yeah.
You should be.
Pharma bro.
But somebody will try to gut you for something that's well beyond just to also set you back. So that's something that you have to protect from is people will take advantage of you. You don't even know it, and then you're left with nothing. So protect yourself.
Dang, what did we learn from this class? Was this a waste of your time? This is your moment of truth.
There's different way to run a company. Money's not like always everything.
Okay.
The way you run it, not like cutting people, and like the loyalty to customers always like the top part. If you don't have that, you really basically don't have anything.
Uriel, we learned that we show up on time, don't we?
Yeah.
What else did we learn?
About SWOT analysis.
Okay.
That.
Okay. Should I be like Japanese baseball where I have you hop and hold two bats? Sorry, got back on the baseball thing. You never saw Mr. Baseball? How dare you? It's Tom Selleck's best movie. Go for it.
And sort of what Austin was saying, just like how in your own company, like they could come at you and sort of like want to themselves over.
Is that something, an environment you want to be in?
But
Why not?
Because it's not like a teamwork environment, but it is an environment that's easy to get into without realizing.
Did everyone see though that newscast? They seemed to think that was okay, because that's not them, right? I guarantee you, if that was them, and notice how they made fun of the PIP, like, that's you getting in trouble. Does that really sound like a place I want to work? But they're not really affected by it. You know, let's just throw 2 more atomic bombs if we don't see the result. I mean, you know, until certain things went out, people don't really kind of understand like the aftermath, do they? Let's take war for an example, right? When people go, oh, we'll blow them up. And all of a sudden you're seeing stuff that you're like, oh my God, what the hell is this? And this is in your name. A little bit different, isn't it? Men,
Yes,
what did you learn in this class?
I learned a lot.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I learned how to deal with the stupid people.
Just your instructor? Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh!
Yeah. No, like first thing, like they helped me recognize like I cannot like do something like do it and don't think the consequences. Like
Follow through?
follow through. Like if I'm like after the capital essay something, I recognize a lot. Like I kind of like cut somebody out and don't think the consequences.
Yeah.
I have to, right? But I have to think like the consequences when I'm cutting it. That's why it changed my mind the way I'm cutting the stuff.
Kind of like when also you want to cut that healthcare plan and then she tells you basically that keeps you out of 5 hours of the emergency room. Connor, do you feel 5 hours is okay if you save $200 total? Yeah, all of a sudden, right? You're like, I will, yeah, I'll pay the $200 never to go in the emergency room that long. Did we learn a lot? You're going to go back to China and you're going to say, Americans are crazy. They do some crazy ass shit. You have no idea, right? Right? You're just going to be like, let's stay here. Let's not talk to them. Right? Okay, what do we learn?
From you, I learned to be more aware at the beginning, so we can try to prevent that something really bad happens. And also from the Jackie Walsh paper, I learned always do our make decisions based on data, and also as to look at notice the consequences based on actions.
Madison, did we learn your future profession? And did we learn that maybe there are some people that, even at Arthur Andersen, the oldest accounting firm in the world. Hey, by the way, have you noticed this about the oldest blah, 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 that usually they're some of the shadiest? Yes. What did you learn as a future accountant that's going to have somebody come through, the next Andy Fastow, who's going to go, hey, sign off on this?
So it's going to sound, I'm not gonna say it. So you have to look at the numbers, but you also have to look at more than just the numbers. The numbers are important because then you can kind of find that shady accounting stuff that usually goes on. But you also have to look outside of the numbers, like with the firing and hiring kind of things. People are more than just numbers. Workplace is more than just the profits they bring in. So you have to kind of look at it as a whole rather than just that one part.
Do we get the feeling that there's one person we know that's going to probably try the Andy Fastow move, maybe in business ethics? Yeah. Okay. He's an interesting guy. Amy, what did we learn? We're having fun with him. You don't know.
I learned how blind a normal person is to the structures of business.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, the news broadcasts, how they're making fun of the pit, or how they're making fun of Jack Welch, just because they are not the ones that are being affected by that. When they are in that position, they are automatically all in, I'm the one person that's going to make it through.
Yeah. And like, think about this, right? You don't know what your future holds, but what if you're taking care of a parent? What if you got a baby? What if you got whatever, right? I mean, that's a lot of stuff, and then I'm just cutting you. How's that feel?
It feels awful.
So do you feel you will take that back when you are placed in that position? You know, like it's great you have to make cuts or you have to do things. There are cuts all over, every single place. Never going to not happen. But do we maybe take into account that and not just be like, oh, I don't know that person. I don't care. Right? Jane, what did we learn from all this? Aside from the fact we're better people, according to Xander.
I just think that people are greedy.
Yeah.
And it's like you said that people are kind of blind by like business and marketing kind of stuff. And I was going towards like accounting, but I was like, never mind, because I hate numbers.
Wait, did I talk you out of a major?
No.
Leave while you can, right?
No,
Poor Madison, she's already roped in.
No, it's just that, yeah, basically, I just don't want to get involved in that, situation. So sometimes you just kind of look like, because the reporter did ask some questions that are like questionable, and then the person like can't explain it or like even answer it. So that's kind of like sus.
How does Enron make its money? Really? The cheapest question there is? That should be like, oh yeah, we just do this, this, and this. Instead, you fly off the handle. Okay, Mina, how does Enron make its money? How can I put you in a new car today? It sounds like the same shady shit you'd hear. Go for it, Mina. What did we learn in this class? What do you feel was beneficial to you? What are you going to take away?
Well, definitely that there's a human aspect behind all parts of business, whether we like it or not, and to consider that when we're making future decisions. Additionally, I liked how in the textbook it's like, oh, look at all these things, but then in the actual activities and discussions we're talking about kind of like the things that most textbooks won't really mention or talk about. So I kind of like the duality of that, but it definitely made me consider like business is business, whether it's legal or illegal. So just try to be more aware of things before you make choices.
That's why I had you guys race towards getting done at the midterm with all your textbook crap. Because let's be honest, half of it you've already forgotten. It's kind of the way things go. Sorry. But you can't really forget other people and actually having to do exercises that actually make you think about the people that you're affecting. Right? Kind of a little different. All right. So you guys have the ability to evaluate me. Go right ahead. Do you. But, I appreciate all of you. It was fun. We went through class, right? You have all of Dead Week. You don't have to show up. I believe in Dead Week. This sounds like I'm giving you a respite. I'm really giving myself one too. So I can grade your last stuff. Please turn in everything. I will send you an email on Monday saying, hey, this isn't submitted. Hey, but that should be really low because you guys should have done all the stuff, right? You only have like one paper due for me. Or maybe I don't know if you have any kind of online stuff or if you're like Amy and Madison and you actually have full 600 points and you're just perfect. Yeah, sorry, some people reach perfection. That's why I actually ranked them higher than you, AJ. And sorry,
We have 5.
we had a pip a while ago. Xander was on that pip, and then I actually mentioned you this morning to Diane. I said, you had the most creative way. He goes, I've saved up time. I'm like, I don't think that's how that works. All right, thank you. Have a good one. Yes. How about you turn it in before the final week? Like the finals are done. So yeah, whatever. I mean, as long as it's before I have to turn in grades.
Kobayashi.
And no AI, right? Because we don't want to do AI, because I would think that would be horrible.